Have you felt it lately? The way people look at you differently, the way rooms shift when you walk in, the way silence seems to follow you, not because you're quiet, but because your presence speaks louder than words? Chosen one, something powerful is moving through your life right now. It's not just a small change, it's a wave, and it's surrounding you everywhere you go. Even when you're not trying to stand out, you do. Even when you're just existing, breathing, walking, there's something about you that draws people in. It's not just your looks or your voice or the way you carry yourself, it's something deeper. It's your energy. More specifically, it's your sexual energy. It's rich, magnetic, and undeniable. It reaches people before you say a word, and many of them can't even explain why they feel pulled to you, but they do. Women especially are beginning to notice you in a way they haven't before. Not just as a man, but as something rare. They're seeing you as a symbol of desire, as something valuable, as someone they admire, even if they don't understand why. Some are starting to treat you like a trophy, something beautiful to have, something that makes them feel more powerful just by standing next to you. They admire you for what they see, for what they feel in your presence, and some are drawn more by your energy than your words. But no matter how tempting that attention might be, you must not let it change how you see yourself. Because the truth is, being admired is not the same as being known. Being wanted is not the same as being loved. And being seen is not the same as being understood. If you fall in love with the way others look at you, you might forget how to see yourself clearly. You might become trapped in their gaze, their expectations, their fantasies. But you were never made to be someone's symbol. You were not created to be a shiny object for others to show off. You are not here to feed people's need for status. You are a soul, a whole and living soul. You are a spirit with depth, fire, and truth. Yes, your sexual energy is strong. It touches people deeply. It stirs their emotions, sometimes even their desires. It lights up rooms. It creates silence and attention. It makes you unforgettable. But it's only one part of you. It's a powerful part, yes, but still just a layer of your full being. If you begin to think that this energy is the whole truth of who you are, you risk becoming a reflection of what others want instead of a living expression of who you truly are. That's how you lose your power, not by being noticed, but by being defined by the noticing. You are not a trophy. You were never meant to be placed on anyone's shelf. You are not here to be admired and touched and displayed. You are here to walk in your own light. You are here to live with intention, with purpose, with soul. You are here to carry something sacred inside you, and that sacredness cannot be seen by everyone. It's not meant to be. Some people will only see your frame. Some will only hear your voice. Some will only feel the energy of desire and think that's all there is. But they will miss the ocean beneath the surface if they don't look closer. And that ocean, that soul, is who you really are. The admiration you're getting now can feel good. It can feed the ego. It can feel like healing after years of feeling overlooked or misunderstood. But it is also a test. It can cloud your vision. It can make you believe that attention is the same as connection, that desire is the same as devotion, that popularity is the same as intimacy. But it's not. and you know it. Deep inside, you know that you want more than to be seen. You want to be felt. You want to be understood. You want to be loved, not for how you shine in the light, but for how you burn in the dark. And only those who can sit with your soul will ever know that fire. Now you are being asked to make a choice. You can keep enjoying the attention, stay on the surface, keep smiling at the admiration, and never ask for more. Or you can begin to walk with greater awareness. You can begin to protect your depth. You can begin to value yourself not by how many people want you, but by how few truly understand you. You can begin to realize that your presence is not just a gift for others to admire. It's a force that can awaken, shift, and transform people. But only if you carry it with truth. Many women will be drawn to you now. Some will come close because of the way you walk, the sound of your voice, the calm strength you carry in your silence. Some will be pulled in by the force of your energy and not even understand what it is. But when they get close, something unexpected will happen. They'll sense a stillness in you, a kind of knowing, a kind of quiet power that doesn't chase, a presence that chooses, that sees, that doesn't need anything from them, but invites everything real from them. And that will confuse some, because they've never seen a man who doesn't want to be chosen, but who chooses. You are not chasing anyone. You are not begging to be seen. You are not asking to be admired. You are deciding who gets to know you. And that changes the game. That shifts the entire energy. You become someone who invites, but never exposes himself to those who aren't ready. You become someone who is open, but protected, warm, but not available to everyone. That kind of presence is rare, and that kind of man is unforgettable. But this is not the easy road. It is much easier to collect admiration, to enjoy being wanted, to feel powerful, because people are drawn to you. But you are not here for easy. You are here for meaningful. You are here to live with depth, to walk with purpose, to connect with souls, not just bodies. You are here to remind others that there is more to a man than his frame, that there is more to desire than attraction, that there is more to love than wanting. You will begin to filter your connections, not because you think you are better, but because you finally understand your worth. You will stop giving your energy to anyone who only wants the glow, but not the soul. The people who stay are people of depth, people of truth, people who want to see you, not just look at you, people who want to understand you, not just touch you, people who want to walk with you, not use you as a place to stand for their own glory. And so your life begins to change. Your relationships shift. Your conversations become more honest. Your boundaries become stronger. Your energy becomes cleaner. And you begin to notice that the women who stay, these are women who are not afraid of your fire. They are drawn to it, not because they want to take from you, but because they want to bring their own light to match it. These are women who don't just want a moment with you. They want truth with you. They want something real. Your sexual energy is powerful, yes, but your soul is the treasure. And from this point forward, you must walk like a man who understands that. You must walk like a man who enjoys being seen, but isn't owned by it, who accepts admiration, but isn't defined by it, who receives desire, but isn't ruled by it. You must love like someone who knows his value and protects it. Speak like someone who knows his voice creates change. Give like someone who is generous, but wise. Because the truth is, people are no longer just admiring you. They are being changed by you. Your energy is no longer something that just gets attention. It now carries influence, and that influence must be carried with care. You don't get to decide if you influence others anymore. Your is how. Will you leave them confused or clear? Will you inspire them or leave them longing? Will you awaken them or simply entertain them? Every word, every smile, every moment you share is now a seed that will grow into a memory, a story, an experience. It's sacred. It matters. Women who come near you are not just meeting a man. They are meeting a mirror. They are meeting a possibility. They are encountering someone who might awaken something in them they didn't know they needed. And if you're careless, you can hurt them, not because you're cruel, but because you didn't protect your gift. You must now walk with a higher level of awareness. You must see your presence as sacred. You must know that your energy can heal or harm. It can uplift or confuse. It can create clarity or chaos. And your job now is not to play with power, but to lead with it. Not to manipulate, but to guide. Not to use your fire to impress, but to illuminate. Some will come to you looking to be filled. Some will come just to be near your warmth. Some will come wanting your energy, but not knowing what it costs you to burn this way. And you must not hate them for it. You must simply see them clearly. You must lead with honesty. You must protect your energy. You must say with your presence, "You're welcome to stand near my fire, but you will not play with it." And when you live like that, your presence becomes not just powerful, but pure. You become someone who doesn't leave a trail of regret behind you, but a trail of awakenings. Even if the connection is brief, even if the moment is small, you leave them better. Not because you promised forever, but because you showed up with truth. You respected the moment. You honored the energy. You didn't take, you gave. And that is what makes you different. This is your responsibility now. To be a man who is admired, but not ruled by it. Desired, but not defined by it. Seen, but not used. To be a man who awakens others simply by being real. Simply by living in his own truth. And the deeper into your calling you go, the more this will be required of you. You are not here to create fantasy. You are here to call people into something real. And that, chosen one, is sacred. So walk carefully. Walk joyfully. Walk knowing that you are not a trophy. You are a mirror, a fire, a temple, a soul, and the mark you leave on others. It's not just on their memory. It's on their spirit. It's on their life. It's on their soul. There comes a time when people begin to notice you in ways they never did before. You feel eyes on you. You hear words of admiration. People begin to treat you like you're special, like your presence is something rare. And in those moments, it may feel like your value has increased, like you're more important simply because others finally see it. But no matter how tempting that feels, you must remember your worth doesn't come from being seen, admired, or wanted. It comes from something much deeper. It comes from who you are, when no one is watching. It comes from the choices you make in silence, from the discipline, patience, and growth you fought for when no one else was around to witness it. When people talk about you like you're a prize to win, when they compete for your attention, when they treat your affection like a trophy that validates their own worth, you must remember, you are not their reward. You are not here to complete someone's self-image. You are not the missing piece in someone else's story. You are a mirror. And when people look into you, if they dare to look honestly, they will see pieces of themselves reflected back. The parts they love, the parts they've lost, the parts they want to find again. But mirrors are only helpful to those who truly want to see. Those who don't will only project. They'll project their fantasies onto you. They'll project their wounds, their desires, their need to feel important. And if you're not grounded, you might start believing what they see. You might start living for their praise, performing for their approval, mistaking their projection for your identity. You'll forget who you are and start defining yourself by how much others desire you. That's the danger. That's the trap. But your true worth was never born from their admiration. It was born in your private becoming, in the unseen battles, in the lonely healing, in the hard decisions you made when it was just you and God. It was born in the tears no one saw, in the prayers no one heard, in the quiet strength it took to keep going when no one clapped for you. That's where your value lives, not in applause, not in how many eyes are on you, but in how fully you know yourself, especially when no one's looking. So when admiration comes, let it pass through you. Let it touch your ears, but not your soul. Stay grounded in your truth. Stay steady, whether you are praised or overlooked, wanted or ignored, because your worth doesn't flicker with their feelings. It is steady. It is sacred. It is untouchable. When people call you a trophy, show them something they don't expect. A man who doesn't need praise to feel whole. A man who welcomes kindness, but doesn't depend on it. A man who can laugh on the surface, but lives deeply. Let your calm speak louder than your words. Let your silence carry strength. Let people walk away not only impressed, but moved by your steadiness. You are here to be a reflection of truth, not a decoration, not an object to be admired or claimed. You are not here to be displayed. You are here to live with purpose. And now you're crossing into a space where fewer people go. A space where you are no longer seen as something to own, but as someone to honor. Someone with your own soul, your own gravity, your own direction. You are not responsible for the emotions people feel around you. You are responsible for being true to yourself. Some will want your light because they haven't found their own. Some will want to possess you because they feel small without you. Be kind to them. Here to save everyone. You are here to live in truth and to invite others into something higher. To walk in that truth, you must stop entertaining connections that require you to shrink. You must stop giving your sacred energy to people who only want to consume your light. You must stop being flattered by attention that does not see your soul. Not everyone who wants you is meant for you, and not everything that looks good is good for your spirit. From this place of knowing, your power is no longer in being desired. It's in how wisely you choose. You don't move from hunger anymore. You move from alignment. You don't chase pleasure. You protect your peace. Every yes now must be sacred. Every connection must honor your path. And yes, many will be drawn to you. But you must use your discernment. Your energy is a magnet, and magnets attract both treasure and rust. You must ask, does this connection deepen my truth or distract me from it? You must listen not just to what they say, but to why they've come near. You must feel whether their energy uplifts or drains you. Some will be excited just to be near you. Some will mistake being close to you for finally being enough themselves. Some will chase you to feel powerful, but your job is not to feed their fantasy. Your job is to be real, to walk in truth, to honor the man you've become. Let your choices reflect your maturity. Let them say, without a word, I know who I am. I know what I carry. As your light grows, many will try to place you on pedestals. They'll admire you for what you represent. They'll expect you to live up to an image, not knowing they've fallen in love with a fantasy, not the real you. And the pedestal may feel good. It's tempting. It feels safe to be admired. But don't stay there, because no matter how beautiful it looks, the pedestal is still a cage. It's not love. It's projection. Step down from every pedestal. Be willing to disappoint people. Be willing to show your imperfections.
The reason your life feels so heavy right now is because you're being prepared for something much greater than you ever imagined. What if the pain, the heartbreak, the silence, and the loneliness you've been carrying are not signs that you've been forgotten, but proof that you've been chosen? Not chosen for an easy life, but for a meaningful one. Not chosen for comfort, but for purpose. Not chosen to be protected from pain, but to be transformed through it. There's a deep and sacred truth that most people never speak out loud. It's not easy to hear, and it's even harder to accept, but it holds a powerful key to understanding why your path has been so hard. The truth is this: the ones who are chosen for something greater are almost never the ones who walk through life untouched. They are the ones who are tested the most. Life doesn't make it easier for them. It makes it harder, because what they carry is heavier. Their souls are not shaped by soft hands. They are carved by storms. These souls are not comforted by the world. They are broken, remade, stretched beyond their limits, and pushed into places where it feels like no one understands. From the outside, it may look like they are being punished, but something sacred is happening within them. Their pain isn't meaningless. It is transformation. It is the divine breaking them down so that something stronger, purer, and more powerful can rise from the ashes. Every tear, every heartbreak, every unanswered question is part of something deeper, something holy. If you feel like you've been carrying more than you can handle, if life keeps pushing you down every time you try to get back up, this message is for you. You are not being broken to be destroyed. You are being broken to be rebuilt into something unshakable, into someone who cannot be stopped. This pain isn't the end. It's the beginning of your rising. You, who feels everything so deeply. You, suffers in silence and cries behind closed doors. You, who carries dreams too big to explain and wounds too deep to name. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are in the middle of a sacred process. The reason it feels so hard is because you are being prepared for something greater than anything you've ever seen before. Like a diamond formed under pressure, your soul is being shaped through fire and struggle. The things that feel like they're breaking you are actually building you. The storms you're walking through are not here to destroy you, they are making you powerful. Life is removing what doesn't belong in you. Your fears, your false beliefs, your ego, your attachments, all of it is being stripped away. And yes, that hurts. It feels like loss. It feels like you're being torn apart. But you're not losing who you are. You're discovering who you really are underneath it all. The version of you that is strong, radiant, and ready for what's next. The version of you that was always there, waiting to be revealed. You're being prepared not just for your healing, but for the healing of others. Chosen ones are not here to simply survive. They are here to guide, to lead, to heal, and to lift others. But in order to lead others through pain, you must know pain yourself. In order to speak hope, you must first know what it feels like to lose it. That's why your suffering feels so personal. That's why your journey feels so intense. You are not being taught through books or lectures. You are being taught through experience, through fire, through silence, through heartbreak, so that when someone else is drowning, you'll know exactly how to help them breathe. Your pain is giving you something sacred: compassion, wisdom, real empathy. Not the kind you read about, but the kind that comes from scars. You'll carry a light that doesn't come from the sun. It comes from what you survived. And your words will carry a weight that only lived truth can carry. You will become the kind of person who doesn't just inspire people, you'll awaken them. But before your spirit can rise, your ego must fall. That's one of the hardest parts of being chosen. Everything you once took pride in, your image, your status, your achievements, might fall apart. You may feel like you're losing yourself, but you're not. You're shedding what was never real. You're being pulled away from who you thought you had to be and into who you were always meant to become. This is not destruction. This is the sacred death of the false self. And when the ego dies, the soul begins to live. What you're going through right now is not just about this moment. It's about what's ahead. You're not being prepared for where you are. You're being prepared for where you're going. Everything that's happening now, the heartbreak, the delays, the betrayals, the failures, they are not the end of your story. They are your training ground, your foundation. You are being equipped with the strength, clarity, and resilience needed for battles you can't even see yet. You are being made ready, not just to survive, but to lead, to rise, to be unstoppable when your time comes. And maybe you've asked yourself, why me? Maybe you've cried out, wondering what you did to deserve so much pain. But the real question is, why not you? Maybe the reason you've been given so much is because God sees more in you than you see in yourself. The universe doesn't place the heaviest weights on the weakest souls. It gives them to the ones it trusts the most. Even if you don't believe in your strength yet, God does. Your pain is not a punishment. It's proof that you've been trusted with something sacred. If it feels like everyone is being taken away from you, if you've been pulled into isolation and silence, know this: chosen ones are often set apart before they are called forward. You may feel alone, but you're not being forgotten. You're being placed in a space where you can finally hear your own soul, where you can finally hear the voice of God, where the noise of the world fades, and you begin to understand who you really are. Isolation isn't rejection. It's redirection. It's preparation. Some people can't go where you're going. Some connections have to end so that your next chapter can begin. Let go. Trust the unfolding. And above all, never forget this: the suffering you've endured is giving you something priceless: empathy. You can't fake it. You can't learn it in a classroom. You learn it by having your heart shattered and still choosing to love, by being broken and still choosing to believe. You're being made into someone who doesn't rise alone. You rise, and then you turn around and help others rise too. That's who you are. That's why you were chosen. Not because the path would be easy, but because you had the strength to walk it anyway. So if you're in the middle of pain right now, if your heart is heavy and you're wondering if you'll ever feel whole again, remember this: you are not being broken to be buried. You are being broken open so that your light can shine through. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not weak. You are chosen. You are becoming, and you will rise. The pain you're feeling isn't just random suffering. It's doing something deep inside of you. It's opening a space within you that wasn't there before, a space that will one day hold more love, more compassion, and more understanding than you ever thought possible. Right now, it hurts. Right now, it feels unfair, unbearable. and maybe even endless. But one day, this pain will become the very thing that gives you the strength to help someone else stand. One day, it will be the reason you speak with more kindness, listen with more patience, and love with more depth. This pain is not here to ruin you. It's here to awaken something powerful inside you that could only be discovered this way. It's carving out space in your heart for something sacred. This may be hard to hear, especially when your heart feels heavy, but on a soul level, you chose this. Before you were even born, before you had a name or a body, your soul made a sacred promise. It agreed to walk a difficult road, not because you deserved to suffer, but because your soul knew that through this pain, you would rise. You came into this life with a purpose, and sometimes that purpose begins with breaking. You didn't choose the easy path to lose things you thought you couldn't live without, and still choose to rise again. You chose to awaken early, to see through the lies, to feel the weight of the world in ways others might not understand. And though it feels so heavy now, it's not because you're being punished. It's because you were chosen for something greater. The universe is not being cruel to you. It is not forgetting you. It's keeping the promise your soul made long ago. Everything that's happening now is part of the agreement your higher self made to go through the dark in order to become the light. You are not cursed. You are fulfilling a sacred mission, a mission that many souls never choose. You did, because your spirit is ancient, your heart is strong, and your purpose is bigger than anything you've been through so far. Even when you don't understand it, even when you can't see the way forward, the journey is still unfolding exactly as it should. But in order to be reborn, something has to die. Not your body, not your spirit, but the illusions, the false ideas, the comfort zones, the identities you outgrew, the lies you were told about who you are and what you're worth. Those things are falling away, and it feels like dying because they've been with you for so long. You're not just being refined, you're being resurrected. And resurrection doesn't come from ease or comfort. It comes from surrendering what no longer serves you. It comes from letting go of the old version of you so the real you can rise. It comes from falling to your knees and finding something holy in the rubble of what used to be. When everything around you is falling apart, when you can't recognize your life anymore, when the things you once counted on no longer feel safe, you may think it's the end, but it's not. It's the breaking before the breakthrough. It's the death before the rebirth. It's the moment the seed disappears under the soil and everything goes dark. But that's when the real growth begins. God is not breaking you to destroy you. He's breaking you to plant you. He's hiding you in the dark so your roots can grow deep. And once they're strong enough, you will break through the surface and reach the light again. It's not the end of you. It's the beginning of the most powerful version of you. You may feel like giving up. You may feel like it's all too much. You may wonder why you're the one who has to carry so much. But you're not being tested to be torn down. You're being shaped, molded, called into something greater. There is a purpose to all of this, even if it doesn't make sense right now, even if it feels cruel, even if it feels silent. The universe isn't punishing you. It's preparing you. It sees the light inside you that's been buried under layers of fear, pain, and disappointment. And now it's doing what it must to set that light free. It's shaking the ground beneath your feet, not to hurt you, but to make sure you no longer stay stuck in places that were never meant for you. If this message reached you when you were at your lowest, when you felt lost or forgotten or too tired to keep going, know this: you're not alone. You're not unseen. The universe brought you here for a reason. This message is your reminder. This is your sign. Even when everything around you feels like chaos, there is still a plan unfolding in perfect timing. And if something inside you feels like this message is speaking directly to your heart, then trust that that feeling is real. That's your soul remembering what it already knew. You can take a moment, if it feels right, to say, I'm ready, not because you're completely healed, not because you have all the answers, but because you know deep down that you can't stay where you are, because your soul is whispering, even through the tears, that you were made for more. And if you feel led, you can type 1111 as a simple way to say to the universe, I'm ready to rise, even if I'm still afraid. Let the blessings come, even if they show up in strange ways. Let the purpose inside you awaken, even if it doesn't make sense right away. Let your soul come alive again, even if it's been quiet for too long. You are not too broken. You are not too late. You are not a lost cause. You are in the middle of a sacred transformation. The world hasn't seen the real you yet, but it will. And when it does, your story will become someone else's hope. Your healing will become someone else's lifeline. Your strength will be the answer to someone else's prayer. You are not being judged here. Not for your tears. Not for your confusion. Not for how long it's taken you to get here. You are not being punished for feeling deeply. You are not being shamed for your past. Here, you are honored for your soul. You are celebrated for your courage. You are held in love, even when you don't feel lovable. You were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be real. And your realness, your pain, your journey, it all matters. It all belongs. Nothing is wasted, not even the suffering. You were not broken to be ruined. You were broken to be revealed. The walls had to fall so the truth could rise. And even though you've been walking through the fire, you are not alone. Every step has been seen. Every cry has been heard. Every silent prayer has been felt. And now, the time is coming when your rising will begin. You don't have to know how. You just have to keep going. The world is waiting for the real you, the one who knows pain, but still chooses love, the one who knows fear, but still takes steps forward, the one who was cracked open just enough for the light to finally shine through. That's the you the world needs. That's the you you're becoming. So take a breath. Rest if you need to. Cry if you must. But don't give up, because you're not at the end. You're standing at the door of a new beginning. And even if it doesn't feel like it yet, your soul already knows it's time to rise.
Have you ever walked into a room and felt the whole energy shift without saying a single word? That's the kind of presence you've stepped into now. You, the chosen one, have become someone entirely different. There's a power in you now that can't be hidden, and you're no longer trying to hide it. Something deep inside you has awakened, and it's not subtle, it's undeniable. It moves through you in silence, in your eyes, in the calm way you stand, in the way your footsteps carry meaning. You don't need to announce it. Your energy speaks for you. People feel it before you even speak. They turn to look without knowing why. The world around you senses that something about you has changed. You've stepped into a version of yourself that doesn't chase, doesn't doubt, and doesn't ask for permission. You no longer live in fear or confusion. You've stopped trying to prove your worth because you've realized you never had to. It was always there, buried under the layers of expectation, fear, rejection, and noise. But now, the noise is gone. The fog has lifted. What's left is you, clear, grounded, fully present. You move with quiet strength. You speak with calm certainty. And it's not because life got easier. It's because you got stronger. This transformation didn't happen overnight. It came through everything you've been through. Every disappointment, every mistake, every sleepless night, every moment you questioned your place in this world. You felt pain. You felt invisible. You felt like giving up. But you didn't. You kept going. You chose growth. You chose to rise. And now, that choice lives in your energy. It lives in your silence, your eyes, your walk, your decisions. You no longer look around for approval. You no longer change who you are to be liked. You no longer shrink to make others comfortable. You've stopped seeking. Now you simply are. You walk into spaces not hoping to be accepted, but knowing you belong. And this knowing is not loud. It doesn't need attention. It's calm. It's deep. It's firm. It's real. Women feel it before you say anything. They notice the calm way you move, the steady way you look at them, not desperate, not seeking, but sure of yourself. You don't try to impress. You don't pretend. You don't chase. And that's exactly what draws them in. Your energy says everything. You are complete. You are centered. You are not waiting to be chosen. You are the one who chooses. Men feel it too. Some will respect it. They'll notice how people react to you. They'll watch how you carry yourself. They'll wonder how you found such peace in a world that constantly pulls people off center. Others may feel uneasy around you. They won't be able to name it, but they'll feel the difference. Some will admire it. Some will resist it. Some will try to explain it away, call it luck or arrogance. But the truth is, what you've become cannot be explained. It has to be felt, and not everyone is ready to feel it. This kind of presence doesn't come from status, looks, or charm. It doesn't come from words. It comes from doing the inner work, from facing the hard truths, from choosing discipline when it was easier to quit, from looking in the mirror and fixing what was broken instead of hiding from it. That's why you don't crumble anymore. That's why you don't panic when things go wrong. That's why your energy is so still, because it comes from real self-mastery. You no longer move with hesitation. You no longer question your decisions. You no longer apologize for your presence. You've stopped waiting for permission to be powerful. You've stopped asking others to confirm what you already know. And because of that, life responds to you differently. People look at you with curiosity. Some feel drawn. Some feel challenged. But they all feel something. Your energy enters the room before your body does. Your silence holds more weight than most people's words. Your stillness carries more meaning than noise ever could. You no longer live in reaction, you live in intention. Every step you take is purposeful. Every word you speak is thoughtful. You're not trying to win anyone over. You're not trying to play a role. You're not trying to be liked. You're just being real. And that, in today's world, is magnetic. You've stopped living small. You've stopped giving your energy to things that drain you. You've stopped explaining yourself to people who don't want to understand. You've learned that not everyone is meant to go with you. You've learned that peace often comes after loss. You've learned that growth sometimes requires walking away from comfort. You've learned that your value doesn't increase when others finally notice. It increases when you finally believe. You're no longer afraid of silence. You're no longer afraid to be alone. You're no longer afraid to stand out. You've realized that your strength comes from within, not from the opinions of others. You've stopped doubting your voice. You've stopped ignoring your intuition. You've stopped waiting for life to happen. Now, you move. You act. You lead. There was a time when you chased everything: attention, love, approval. Now, you understand that the most powerful people don't chase. They attract. And you attract not through effort, but through presence. Not through performance, but through authenticity. Not through words, but through energy. You are no longer who you were. That version of you, the one who questioned everything, who tried to be enough, who lived in fear, is gone. He served his purpose. He learned. He endured. But he's no longer needed. You've become something new, something clear, something calm, something powerful, something untouchable. And because of that, you now live differently. You no longer ask for what you want, you claim it. You no longer wonder if you belong, you walk in like you do. You no longer wait to be loved. You love yourself so deeply that anyone who doesn't see your value simply isn't meant to walk with you. You don't explain your vision to people who don't see it. You don't argue with people who don't feel your energy. You don't lower your standards to meet someone else's comfort. Your life has changed because you've changed. Your energy is no longer chaotic. It's calm. It's grounded. It's sacred. You no longer fall for distractions. You no longer waste time proving yourself. You no longer let fear drive your decisions. You lead with clarity now. You lead with peace. You lead with power that doesn't shout, but never goes unnoticed. And now, the right people find you. The right energy surrounds you. The right opportunities open to you. Not because you beg for them, but because you've aligned yourself with them. You don't hope anymore. You expect. You don't wish anymore. You move. You don't doubt anymore. You know. You are not for everyone. And you don't need to be. Your energy will attract those who are meant for you, and it will repel those who aren't. That's not rejection. That's alignment. You've stopped trying to convince the wrong people. You've stopped waiting for the world to approve of who you've become. You are no longer living for applause. You are living in truth. And that truth shines through you. It's in your eyes. It's in your silence. It's in the way you walk without rushing, speak without fear, and breathe without apology. You no longer need to be seen to know that you matter. You no longer need to be chosen to feel worthy. You already know who you are. You already know what you bring. You already know why you're here. This is the power of real confidence, not the kind that's loud and showy, but the kind that's quiet, solid, and undeniable. It doesn't beg to be noticed. It doesn't need to be praised. It just is. And now, so are you. You, the chosen one, have become a man who doesn't just walk through life, you move it. You shift the energy of every space you enter. You leave behind a silence that echoes long after you're gone. You don't have to say much anymore. Your energy speaks loud enough. And that energy is permanent, unshakable, and completely your own. You have become the one others feel long after you leave. You have become the one who doesn't chase, because everything you need flows to you. You have become the one who once looked for answers, but now lives as one. And this is only the beginning. When you shift your energy from the inside, everything around you begins to change. You stop moving through life with doubt or fear. You stop second guessing yourself. You stop waiting for others to tell you who you are or what you're capable of. You stop reacting to everything and start creating your own reality. You choose. You decide. You act. You're no longer trying to feel confident. You've become it. Confidence is no longer something you fake or force. It's something you live. You, the awakened one, are no longer walking through the world the same way. People notice. Some feel inspired, some feel uncomfortable, and some don't understand what's different, but they feel it. Your presence has changed. Now, you don't need to speak to be heard or move to be noticed. You shift the energy of every room you enter just by being yourself. People become more careful, more respectful, more alert when you're around. You don't ask for this attention. It happens naturally. It's not because you're trying to be powerful. It's because you are powerful, and the world can't ignore that. This level of presence doesn't come from arrogance. It comes from peace. It's not loud or aggressive. It's calm, quiet, and certain. You no longer need to prove yourself or chase approval. You've found everything you need within you. That's what makes your energy so strong. It's not something you perform, it's something you carry. Women feel it instantly. They notice the way you move, the way you stand, the way you own your space without effort. You don't try to impress them. You don't chase them. You don't beg for their attention. That's what makes you so magnetic. They're used to men who stumble, who seek approval, who need validation. But you don't. You don't seek. You don't pretend. You don't hesitate. You simply are. And that quiet confidence pulls them in more than words ever could. Even without saying anything, they remember you. They feel something around you that they can't explain. It's not just your looks. It's the way you make them feel. You leave an impression not because of what you do, but because of who you've become. Men feel it too. Some admire you and want to understand how you reached this level. They watch, hoping to learn. Others feel insecure, confused by the calm power you carry. They might act like they don't notice, but they do. Some will challenge you, not because they're strong, but because they don't know how to be at peace with themselves. You don't react. You don't argue. You don't explain. You remain still, steady, and grounded because your presence speaks for itself. You've reached a point where your energy moves before you do. It enters the room first. It changes the atmosphere. People take notice even if they don't understand why. You're not trying to be seen, but you are. You're not seeking attention, but you get it. Because this confidence isn't a mask. It's the result of deep, honest inner work. It's who you are now. You used to question yourself. You used to hesitate, but not anymore. That version of you is gone. You've grown beyond him. You don't need permission to be strong. You don't need approval to feel whole. You've become complete all on your own. The world responds to you differently now because you're no longer the same man. Some people will respect it. Some will envy it. But all of them will feel it. You don't need to be loud to be unforgettable. Your presence lingers long after you've left. It stays in people's minds, not because of what you said or did, but because of the strength, peace, and certainty you carry. That's why you no longer fade into the background. That's why people remember you. This isn't something that can be copied. This isn't something that was handed to you. You built this. You earned this. And now it belongs to you. Your energy is grounded. Your confidence is real. Your presence is powerful. And nothing outside of you can take that away. This is not the end. It's a new beginning. You haven't arrived at some final place. You've stepped into a way of being that will continue to grow, evolve, and deepen. You don't chase the world anymore. The world now moves around you. You don't seek validation. You are the validation. You don't perform, you exist. And that is more than enough. You are now someone who will never be ignored, never be forgotten, and never return to the man you once were. Because now, you are everything you once hoped to become.